Hello grade 10. In this video, we're going to look at some real-life word problems and we're going to write the appropriate equations to be able to solve them. First example is, you're given a word problem that says the sum of two numbers is 130 and their difference is 38. Okay. First, you have to look at some few key words. One will be the word sum, and then the other word is difference. Okay. Then you need to assign variables for all your unknowns. And in this case, you have two unknown numbers, so you have x and a y. And you can assign any variable that you want or any letter that you want. Okay. So after assigning two variables, you can now write for the first statement or sentence, you have the sum of two numbers is 130, representing x and y, and you have addition symbol because of the word sum equals 130, and that's your first equation. So I guess for the second phrase or the second statement, difference, at this point, I'm guessing that you already know what to write on the second equation. So you have two numbers and their difference is 38. Okay, so then you will have x minus y is equal 38, and that's your second equation. Okay, now you can solve this using what you know about solving simultaneous linear equation. Okay. We can use here elimination method, and when you do, we just add these two equations and we will be eliminating the variable y, and so then you will have x plus x is equal to 2x. 130 plus 38 is 138, so your x is equal to 84. Now that you know x is 84, you can just substitute x to any of your equation, any of these two equations. Okay, so in this one, we are using equation 1. So 84 plus y equals 130, and solving its y is equal to 46. So to check our answer, we can just substitute these two numbers that we just solved and see if it satisfies the equations. Okay, so check the solutions. For the first one, 84 plus 46 is equal to 130. And then for the second equation, 84 minus 46 is equal to 38. So we know that we have the right answers. So the numbers are 84 and 46. Okay, let's move on to the second example. Say you have 5 apples and 3 pears and they cost 86 pence. Then you have 7 apples and 5 pears cost £1 and 30 pence. Find the cost of each piece of fruit. Okay. Again, you're wanting to find two different types of fruit, and you can use a different variable. Instead of using x and y, we would like to use a variable that will be descriptive of our fruits. Okay, so then we will have, let A be the number of apples and P will represent pears. Okay, for the first statement, we are looking for 5 apples and 3 pears cost 86 pence. So we would write 5A, 5 representing 5 apples, plus 3 pears, 3P representing 3 pears, equals 86 is 86 pence. Okay, now I'm sure you already know how to write equation 2. You are now looking at the second sentence or statement. 7 apples and 5 pears cost £1 and 30 pence. So let's write that one. 7 apples is 7A and 5 pears is 5P, and then the £1 and 30 pence is 130. You could also write the decimal point in here. You can do 0.86 or 1.30. but this is easier. Just remember to put back the decimal point later. Remember that you are solving in terms of pence. Okay, now that because we don't have a similar coefficient, that means when we use the elimination method, we need to multiply both equations by a certain number to make sure that we come up with the same coefficient on the same variable. Okay, and this one, I'm going to multiply 5 to the first equation and then 3 to the second equation. So that means I would like to eliminate the variable p. So I'm going to do that. First equation will now become 25a after multiplying by 5. 25a plus 15p equals 430. Now, we're going to change equation 2 and multiplying the whole equation by 3. So, 7 times 3, we will have 21a, 5p times 3, 15p, and 130 times 3 is 390. So now we can eliminate p by subtracting equations 3 and 4. So 15p minus 15p is 0. So we will have 25a minus 21a. You will have 4a. 430 minus 390 is 40. A then is 10 pence. So apple is 10 pence. Because we now know A is 10, we can just substitute 10 to any of these two equations here on top. Okay, I am going to use the first equation. So I'm substituting A, which is 10, to here. So we will have 50. 5 times 10 is 50. Plus 3p equals 86. Simplifying, we will have 3p is equal to 36. Then for your pair, you have 12 pence. Okay, so check your solution. 50 plus 36 is 86. Second one, 70 plus 60 is 1 and 30. 1 pound and 30 cents. So here, this is 10 pence and this is 12 pence. Okay, third example. You are now given a puzzle, a star, stars and crosses. Okay, now if you take a look at this carefully, you will see that in here you have three stars and a cross, and it gives you 53. Okay, let's find one and see if this is consistent. Where else can we find 3? Okay, here we go. On this column, you can also find 3 stars and a cross, and it's also 53. So it's consistent. On the second line here, on the second row, you have 2 stars and 2 crosses, and it's 58. Okay, I will try and find 2 crosses and 2 stars. Okay, here we have 2 stars and 2 crosses. It's also 58. And then in here, 2 stars and 2 crosses, it's 58. So then I know I can use simultaneous equation because this puzzle is consistent about the values of the number and the symbols. Okay, now because we know this, we can now assign variables to the cross and a variable to the star. Okay, so then let's make the star x and a cross y. Okay, using the first row, if I want to represent this as an equation, we can write 3x, x meaning the star, so you have 3 stars, plus y, which is 1y or 1 cross, is equal to 53, this number. Remember, this is consistent with this column, which is also 53. Okay. Now, I need one more equation, and I'm going to use the second row. Okay, so if I represent this by writing an equation, we will have x plus y equals 29. Okay, what happened here was this is 2x plus 2y equals 58. But in the second equation, I divided them by 2. So 2x becomes just 1x and 2y became 1y, and 58 divided by 2 is 29. So I just simplified the entire equation 2 for easy calculation. Okay. At this point, because of that, I now have our y variable have the same coefficient, which is 1, so we can eliminate quickly the variable y. Okay, so 1 minus y is 0, 3x minus x is 2x, 53 minus 29 is 24. Okay, by then x is equal to 12. We can substitute 12 to x on the first equation. Again, you can also use the second equation. I just chose the equation 1. So replacing x by 12, 3 times 12 is 36. So you have 36 in here, plus y equals 53. Okay, and so your y is equal to 17. Okay. If you want, you can check each value and see if this will give you a true statement or if it's correct, if your values are correct. Okay. The last word problem is this machine. Okay, a slot machine takes only 20 pence and 50 pence coins. The machine contains a total of 140 coins worth 45 pounds and 10 pence. How many of each type of coin are in the machine? Okay. Now, we need to represent again values for your or variables for your 20 pence and 50 pence because there are only two types of coins. Okay. Let T to represent the 20 pence and F represent the coin that is 50 pence. Okay, so by then you can now write, you know that there's a total of 140 coins between 20 pence and 50 pence. So you can write T plus F is equal to 140 coins. Okay, now moving on, you would like to represent this value. Okay, so you will have 20T plus 50F is equal to 4,510. Okay, again, I'm not using the point or the decimal point for easy calculations, but you can do that. Okay, just remember that if you're not using the decimal point, remember that to put back the decimal point later. Okay, or use the correct unit when you are representing it. Okay, so now we're going to use the elimination method, and by doing so we need to do something. I would like to do something on the first equation, so I'm going to change the first equation and so that I will have a similar coefficient on the next on equation 2. So I multiplied 20 to the first equation, so you have 20t plus 20f equals 2800. This is a new equation. Okay, now because you have the same coefficient on t, you can just subtract them so that you can eliminate the variable t. When you do that, you will end up with, okay, 30f. Okay, sorry, but equation 2 should be written up here so that it's easy to subtract. But anyway, so you will end up with 30f is equal to 4,510 minus 2,800 will give you 1,710. Divide both sides by 30, you will have 57, and then replace 57, and then you will have t plus 57, 140. Okay, so the t is 83. Okay, so these are all the word problems, and I hope that it helped you clarify everything. Bye.